All right, now we're gonna take off the wheel, 19 millimeter. Put your jack stand, pretty straightforward. These are the brakes that I got here. I believe these are the rear brakes. And these are the front brakes. And I got them on Amazon. They're Bendix. So I'm just gonna leave the rotors for now. This is a 10 millimeter on the bleeder valve. So I'm gonna set up my brake bleeder onto there. So this is a 14 millimeter for these bolts right here. So you're gonna remove that one and then this one down here. When you take off the caliper, you wanna hang it like that so that there's no stress on the brake line. Okay, now we can take off our pads. You know, they're not super low, but they're not new either. So we're gonna go ahead and change them out. They've been making a lot of noise. So apparently on the passenger side, you're gonna have a little pin on the back on the inner pad. All right, so these are the new pads on. Now we just need to retract the caliper. So we're gonna do that now. So you can see now there's little bubbles coming out, and that's because I cracked the bleeder. Okay, so now I'm gonna push the piston back in using my little contraption here. So check it out, now the whole line is full. There's a few bubbles here, and it's still got some air in the line. So we're just gonna let some of those air bubbles come out before we close the bleeder valve. See that? All right, so now I filled my bleeder. I filled my reservoir. I'm gonna leave the cap off. I'm gonna go back here and close the bleeder valve. All right, now we're on to the front. I believe it's probably still gonna be a 14 again, and we'll take off these pads. Yep, so it's a 14 on the front too. So once those caliper bolts are off, you can take this off and change your pads. So the trick with these is this pin right here. You have to pinch it when you slide it in. This is a nice little set of pads. It comes with some brake grease. So with that, you're just gonna put a dab right here on the contact points. So it's a little tricky. You just want to make sure that these pads are pushed in all the way at the bottom. There you go.